Understanding what women truly desire goes beyond physical attraction. It's about tapping into their emotional needs: honesty, security, respect, and meaningful connection. Women crave deep emotional bonds, and when you understand these unspoken desires, you unlock the key to lasting attraction. It's not about games or tricks. It's about being the kind of man who can offer her exactly what her heart longs for. When you tap into this, you're building a foundation for something real and lasting. In the following points, we will dive into mastering confidence, effective communication, authenticity, emotional intelligence, physical attraction, and creating long-term value, essential elements that together help you keep women interested and connected to you forever. 2. Mastering confidence that draws women in. Now that you understand what women truly desire, the next crucial step in winning her heart is mastering confidence. Confidence is magnetic. There's no better way to showcase your self-worth and show women you have the emotional strength to support them. But confidence isn't about arrogance. It's about being at peace with who you are. It's the quiet power that comes from within, and it's incredibly attractive. Imagine this: Mark, an average guy in his late 20s, always struggled with self-doubt. He was never the life of the party, and women often overlooked him. One day, he decided to stop seeking validation from others and embraced who he truly was. He started dressing better, working on his fitness, and, most importantly, he began believing in himself. As Mark began to radiate self-assurance, women started noticing him in ways they never had before. His once timid smile transformed into a confident grin that drew people in. And most importantly, women started seeking his attention. Confidence doesn't come overnight. It's cultivated. It's like planting a seed in the soil of your mind and nurturing it. Start small by making sure you take care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. When you practice self-love and consistently remind yourself of your worth, you can't help but show up as a more confident version of yourself. Women don't just notice this, they feel it. The way you walk into a room, the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, it all becomes an extension of the confidence you've built. But here's the real kicker. When a man is confident without being boastful, it invites vulnerability. It's a safe space for women to express themselves emotionally. She feels like she can let her guard down around you, and that is key to any meaningful connection. Moreover, confidence in one area of life often spills over into others. When Mark started focusing on his self-worth, he excelled in his career and personal goals. Women naturally want to be around a man who has purpose, direction, and an undeniable sense of self. They're drawn to someone who doesn't need them for validation but simply enjoys their company. Confidence is your personal magnet. It's like a silent force field that draws women to you, making them feel comfortable and secure in your presence. Once you've mastered this, you'll notice something incredible. The women who once ignored you will now find themselves gravitating toward you. They're attracted not only to your physical appearance but to your energy, your vibe, and your inner strength. You'll exude the kind of self-assurance that makes them feel like they've found someone worth investing in. So, if you're ready to stop struggling with self-doubt and step into a life of confidence, remember that every small victory counts. It's time to embrace your worth and let the world, and the women around you, feel your confidence. When you do, you'll find that you've unlocked the door to a lasting, meaningful connection. 3. Show genuine interest in her life after you've cultivated confidence. The next key to making women obsessed with you is showing a deep, genuine interest in their lives. It's one thing to talk about yourself and flex your achievements, but the real magic happens when you shift the focus to her. When you actively listen, ask meaningful questions, and show that you truly care about what's important to her. Think of it this way. When you're on a date with a woman, it's easy to fall into the trap of talking about your successes, your goals, and your plans. While that's important, what makes you stand out is your ability to shift the spotlight and connect with her on a deeper emotional level. Women want to feel understood, valued, and appreciated. When you show interest in her dreams, her passions, her struggles, and her unique perspective, you are creating an emotional bond that goes beyond surface-level attraction. Consider the story of James. He was a successful entrepreneur with everything anyone could want on paper: money, status, and a great social circle. But when it came to relationships, he struggled. On a date with Sophia, a woman he had been seeing casually, he found himself talking about his business plans and how much he was killing it in his career. While he was genuinely passionate about his work, he noticed Sophia wasn't as engaged. She seemed distant, distracted. After the date, he realized that, even though he was passionate, he hadn't taken the time to learn what she was passionate about. He hadn't asked about her dreams, her fears, or her life outside of work. So, the next time they met, James decided to flip the script. Instead of going on and on about himself, he asked Sophia about her hobbies, what brought her joy, and what her long-term goals were. To his surprise, the conversation took a much deeper turn. Sophia's eyes lit up when she spoke about her love for painting, the struggles she'd faced in her career, and her childhood aspirations. James didn't just nod along. He leaned in, truly listening, offering support, and validating her feelings. By genuinely investing in her life, James unlocked something far more powerful than just surface-level attraction. He created a space where she felt seen and heard, a rare quality in a world that often values superficiality over substance. And just like that, the emotional connection between them deepened. Sophia began to view him not just as another successful man, but as someone who truly valued her as a person, someone who made her feel important. So what does this tell us? When you invest in her emotional world, it opens the door to intimacy. It's not about flashy gestures or grand romantic proclamations. It's about showing up consistently, being present in the moment, and caring about what matters to her. By asking questions, engaging with her passions, and offering real support, you show her that you value her as an individual, not just an accessory to your life. This genuine interest will make her feel like she's the only woman in the room. And that's how you get women obsessed with you, not by being self-centered, but by truly appreciating them for who they are. It's in the small, meaningful moments of connection that you'll leave a lasting impression. When you show a woman that you're fully invested in her happiness and success, she won't be able to resist the magnetic energy between you. 4. Be emotionally available and vulnerable. Building on the foundation of showing genuine interest in her life, the next key trait that makes high-value men irresistible to women is emotional availability. While many men have been conditioned to be stoic or tough at all times, true strength comes from being emotionally open and vulnerable. When you allow yourself to be open, you create a space where she can connect with you on a much deeper level. Think about the power of vulnerability. It's not just about talking about your emotions, it's about being comfortable with them and sharing them when the time is right. Women, especially, crave authentic connections where they can feel safe enough to share their own emotions without fear of judgment. And when you are emotionally available, you offer her that very space. Take the story of Alex, a man who had been dating a woman named Grace for a few months. They enjoyed each other's company and had a great time together. But something was missing. Alex was a tough guy in many ways. He had the athletic build, the career-driven mindset, and he avoided talking about his feelings at all costs. Grace could tell something was off, though. It wasn't that Alex was unkind or closed off, but there was a wall around him that kept her from getting to know him fully. The relationship felt stagnant, like it was stuck in limbo. One evening, after a particularly emotional conversation with a close friend, Alex realized he had been holding back. The friend had opened up to him about personal struggles, and Alex saw how their vulnerability had brought them closer. That night, he decided to take a leap and share his own vulnerabilities with Grace. He told her about the challenges he had faced growing up, his fears around relationships, and even his insecurities about not being enough in certain areas of life. Grace was quiet for a moment. Then, she reached for his hand and squeezed it gently. "Thank you for sharing that with me," she said. "It makes me feel like I really know you now." In that moment, something shifted. Grace no longer saw Alex as just the strong, tough guy, but as a man who was willing to let her in, to trust her with his deepest feelings. His vulnerability gave her the opportunity to be vulnerable with him in return, and the emotional intimacy between them deepened significantly. By sharing his emotional world, Alex didn't lose his strength, he gained it. He showed Grace that he wasn't afraid of the complexities of life or love, and that he could handle the emotional ups and downs of a relationship with grace and maturity. This emotionally open dynamic made him irresistible to her, and the relationship blossomed into something far deeper than it had been before. Being emotionally available doesn't mean spilling every detail of your life or being constantly in a state of vulnerability. It means allowing yourself to open up when it matters, being real about your emotions, and showing that you can handle the emotional complexities of a relationship. When you allow someone to see you for who you really are, with all of your flaws and strengths, you create a bond that goes beyond superficial attraction. Women don't just want a man who's strong. They want a man who's human. Someone who can laugh, cry, feel joy and pain, and share those experiences openly. When you show that you can be emotionally available, you not only create a deep connection with her, but you also prove that you're a high-value man who isn't afraid to be real, raw, and vulnerable. This, in turn, will make her feel obsessed with the emotional connection that you share. 5. Demonstrate leadership and drive. Building on the importance of emotional availability, the next high-value trait that women can't resist in a man is his leadership and drive. Women are naturally drawn to men who not only know what they want but also have the ambition and determination to go after it. Leadership isn't just about taking charge in big, obvious situations. It's about taking responsibility in your life and guiding both yourself and those around you toward better outcomes. Leadership comes in many forms, and it doesn't always require a title or position. True leadership is about making decisions, owning up to your mistakes, and having a clear vision for the future. When a man demonstrates leadership in his personal and professional life, it shows that he is grounded, reliable, and capable of handling the complexities of life, which is incredibly attractive. Take the story of Ryan. He had always been ambitious, driven by a strong desire to make something of himself. But what really set him apart wasn't just his career success. It was how he led in his personal life. Ryan had a deep sense of responsibility for the people around him. He always took the initiative, whether it was organizing a family gathering, helping a friend through a tough time, or mentoring someone at work. One evening, after a long week, Ryan invited his girlfriend, Emma, to dinner at a restaurant he'd been wanting to try for months. As they sat down, Emma noticed that Ryan wasn't just relaxed. He was calm and in control. He wasn't just going through the motions. He was present, making sure that everything was taken care of, from the wine selection to the conversation to making sure Emma felt valued. He wasn't trying to impress her. He was simply being the kind of man who leads with confidence and care. Later, Emma shared with Ryan how much she appreciated his approach to life. "I love how you take charge in a way that doesn't feel controlling. You know what you want and you go after it with purpose. It makes me feel secure, like you've got it all together." Ryan smiled and replied, "I do it because I want us to both be in a place where we can live our best lives together. I'm always thinking ahead, not just for myself, but for us." This conversation revealed something crucial about leadership that many men overlook. True leadership isn't about dominating or being the loudest voice in the room. It's about being the kind of person others can depend on. A high-value man demonstrates leadership by having clarity, a vision for the future, and the commitment to work toward it, no matter what challenges arise. This type of leadership is magnetic, and it encourages others to follow, trust, and be inspired by him. Drive, on the other hand, is equally important. It's the fuel behind a man's ambition, the constant pursuit of personal growth, success, and betterment. Women admire men who are constantly pushing the envelope, striving to achieve their goals and elevate their lives. This drive doesn't only apply to work or career ambitions. It extends to self-improvement, hobbies, and relationships. A man who is driven to be better in all areas of his life sends a powerful message. "I'm committed to growth, and I want to bring you along on this journey." When you demonstrate both leadership and drive, you show a woman that you're not just living in the present, but actively shaping your future. It's this foresight, this ability to inspire, that draws women in and makes them not only attracted to you but genuinely obsessed with being part of your journey. When a woman sees you leading yourself with passion and purpose, she will be eager to follow your lead, because she knows that you are someone who can not only handle challenges but also make her life better by being part of it. 6. Emotional intelligence and self-control. Following on from the theme of leadership and drive, Another trait that high-value men possess is emotional intelligence and self-control. This combination makes a man incredibly attractive because it shows that he is not only aware of his emotions but is also able to manage them effectively, making him steady, composed, and dependable in any situation. Women admire men who are emotionally intelligent because they can engage in meaningful conversations, empathize with others, and maintain composure during stressful moments. Imagine this scenario. Mark had always been ambitious and driven, but he struggled with his emotions. When things didn't go as planned, he would become frustrated or impatient, often taking it out on the people around him. His relationships suffered because of it. His friends, family, and even colleagues began to distance themselves, unsure of how to handle his emotional outbursts. He knew he needed to change, so he began reading books on emotional intelligence, practicing mindfulness, and working on developing a healthier relationship with his emotions. Over time, Mark's approach to life and to others started to shift. One day, while on a date with Sarah, the restaurant lost their reservation and there was a mix-up with their table. Most people would have become upset or agitated, but not Mark. He remained calm and composed, reassuring Sarah that it was no big deal and that they could still have a wonderful evening. He made light of the situation, joking about how it was a perfect opportunity for them to get to know each other better while they waited. Sarah, impressed by Mark's calm demeanor, smiled and said, "You know, I really appreciate how you handle things. Most people would be really upset in this situation, but you just stay so level-headed. It's refreshing." Mark's emotional intelligence was on full display. Instead of reacting impulsively or letting frustration take over, he took a step back, assessed the situation, and responded thoughtfully. Emotional intelligence is more than just managing your feelings. It's about understanding other people's emotions, responding with empathy, and maintaining emotional balance. This is where self-control comes in. Men who can control their emotions not only prevent their own stress from affecting those around them, but also avoid making rash decisions. When a man demonstrates self-control, it speaks volumes about his maturity and stability. Women are naturally drawn to men who stay composed and rational, especially when life throws challenges their way. It shows that they can weather the storms without getting swept away by them. For instance, during a heated argument with Sarah about a miscommunication, Mark took a deep breath and said, "I'm upset right now, but I think it's best if we both take a moment to cool off before we talk more. I don't want to say something I'll regret." This pause in the argument allowed both of them to reflect on their emotions and come back to the conversation with clearer heads. Mark's self-control created an atmosphere of mutual respect and understanding, which deepened their bond. Sarah appreciated his ability to pause and reflect, knowing that he was someone who would always act with consideration, even in moments of tension. Emotional intelligence and self-control are key to building meaningful, long-lasting relationships. High-value men who possess these traits understand the importance of empathy, communication, and self-regulation. By being emotionally available but balanced, they not only show women they are capable of handling their own emotions, but they also create a safe, supportive environment where others feel understood, valued, and respected. When a woman sees that you can manage your emotions, it sends a powerful signal that you are mature, grounded, and trustworthy. It's no surprise that this trait makes a man irresistible, because emotional intelligence and self-control are the foundation of a healthy, stable, and fulfilling relationship. 7. Unwavering confidence in who you are. Building on the emotional intelligence and self-control discussed earlier, the trait that truly sets high-value men apart is their unwavering confidence in who they are. This is the quiet assurance that doesn't need to be broadcasted, but rather is felt in every interaction and decision. It's the kind of confidence that makes a man magnetic. Women find it deeply attractive when a man is comfortable in his own skin, unaffected by external opinions, and secure in his identity. Consider the story of Jason, who had always struggled with self-doubt. He was intelligent, hardworking, and kind-hearted, but he often second-guessed himself, particularly when it came to his relationships. He'd constantly wonder if he was good enough or if he was doing things the right way. This lack of confidence in himself made it difficult for him to approach women or even maintain close friendships because he feared rejection or judgment. One day, during a conversation with a mentor, Jason shared his insecurities. His mentor listened patiently and then shared a simple yet powerful piece of advice. Jason, confidence doesn't come from having everything figured out. It comes from trusting yourself enough to navigate the unknown. People are drawn to those who believe in themselves, even when they don't have all the answers. Start by believing that you're enough just as you are. That simple message resonated with Jason, and over time he began to shift his perspective. Instead of worrying about what others thought or doubting his worth, he focused on embracing his strengths and accepting his flaws. Slowly, he started to act with more self-assurance, no longer trying to conform to other people's expectations. His newfound confidence wasn't loud or boastful. It was calm, steady, and authentic. During a casual dinner date with a woman named Emma, Jason found himself in a situation that would have once made him anxious. He had to lead the conversation and keep the atmosphere light and engaging. Normally, he would have felt the pressure to impress her, but instead, he allowed himself to simply be present. He wasn't worried about whether she liked him or not. He was just focused on enjoying the moment. Emma, noticing his relaxed confidence, leaned in with a smile and said, "You know, I really like being around you. There's something about you that feels real. You're not trying too hard, and that's rare." Jason realized in that moment that true confidence doesn't rely on seeking approval from others. It comes from knowing your value without needing constant validation. His ability to remain authentic and secure in who he was made him not just attractive, but magnetic. Confidence is contagious. It makes others feel secure around you. 2. What makes this type of confidence even more powerful is that it doesn't require external validation. A high-value man knows his worth, and his self-assurance emanates from within. Whether it's navigating a challenging situation at work, facing criticism with grace, or simply walking into a room with your head held high, this quiet confidence speaks volumes. When women see a man who is confident in his own abilities, flaws and all, it creates a sense of trust. They can sense that this is someone who is not easily swayed by external pressures or doubts. Instead, he's someone who takes ownership of his decisions, actions, and path in life. This is the kind of man who can lead with authority, yet still be humble and open. A man with unwavering confidence doesn't just seek approval, he inspires it. And that is why women find this trait absolutely irresistible. Confidence is a reflection of self-respect, and it's this level of self-assurance that makes a high-value man not just at your hey there. Collision, if you found this video insightful, don't just leave it at that. Smash that like button, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Speech Balloon, your opinion matters, and we want to hear what you think. If this message resonated with you, subscribe for more empowering content like this. Let's make this journey even more exciting together. Direct hit, don't forget to check out our other videos to continue leveling up your game. We're here to help you grow, succeed, and be the best version of yourself. Fire together, we've got this. Let's shine. Glowing star, active, but unforgettable.